You have to write about the people who have been instrumental in your life, about the books, the movies, the music which propels you to unexpected emotional and spiritual heights. Your country, its greatness in history, culture, temperament, dream. Its weaknesses. Be angry and cruel about the things you dislike profoundly. Foster in your soul a righteous wrath. The ideals you want to fight for. The key events in your life until now. Discover their meanings. So all of us, we need to make this effort. Think about the books, the movies that inspires you. Think about the history of your country. These are something you have to investigate. You have to know more about those things. You see, I'm trying to help you understand how we discover a mission in our life. If you are a superficial person, because there is no investigation on the personal level, on the cultural level, it's very hard to discover a mission. A mission is not for superficial people. A mission is for people who really have depth in themselves. And this depth has to do a lot with what are the books I read? What are the movies I watch? What are the movies that have an impact on me? What are the people around me that are instrumental in my growth as a human being? The history of my country, about its culture, its temperament, its dreams. These are things that have to inspire you all the time. Your story that you're going to write has to be dramatic, poetic, symbolic, and short. Your story must be dramatic. Dramatic to make it attractive to you and others. Dramatic, it means that you have to find what's the main topic of your life. When you begin to write your story, you have to think, what's the main thing here? Because you begin to understand yourself. When you begin to understand, oh, this comes a lot. This is the main motive. This is the main thing in me. So you begin to write something, and you understand it's not a normal biography. Because you understand little by little, now I'm turning around something. And this thing around which you're turning, this is the point you have to go to. This point is going to be who you are and what's the mission of your life. So that way the process is very important. You begin to write, it seems to you that it's linear. You're historically trying, but little by little you understand it's not linear. You're turning around something. And you're coming back very often to the same thing. And this thing you're coming back to is the thing that you have to investigate. Because this thing is really the substance of your mission. It is not an autobiography that you're writing. It's something else. It's a spiritual autobiography. It's a very different thing. You're not an historian. You are not writing as an historian. You are writing in order to discover your own substance. You're not here to write your memories for your children. This is not the way you discover your mission. It's something much deeper and much more interesting on the human level and the existential level. Because when you begin to write, you have to see about what is the attraction. What's the center of attraction, what I am writing? And this center of attraction is going to be the key thing for you to discover your mission. It's people that are not deep, they can write 2,000 pages. But it's not dramatic, which means, what does it mean when it's not dramatic? There is not a line of movement. It goes in every direction. It goes in any direction. There is no one direction. We don't know who this guy was. We don't know him. We wrote 2,000 pages he has written, and we still don't understand who this guy was. We know nothing about him. We just read about his memories. Mémoire. You understand? This is not what I am asking you to do. I'm asking you to, that's why you have to come back very regularly to this. And you have to little by little try to discover what's the What's the center of that? What's the center? And you have to make an effort. If you don't see the center, you have to make more effort. And you have to bring depth to what you're doing. Is this the center? Is that the center? Or these are just the periphery? It's not easy stuff. It's not easy stuff, but it's beautiful work. It's an incredible work. When you do this, you come to discover yourself. And what happens after? After, when you have discovered this, faithfulness to your own substance till the very last day of your life. You understand my efficiency on earth is about being faithful to this. And this is my mission. So you come to discover your proper substance by making this exercise. And you have to have in mind, I need to discover it because I have to be faithful to this. This is what I am. This is the thing I have to do. And this is what I have to have in my heart, in my mind, in my will, until the very last day of my life. My life is about doing this. And this is the heart of magnanimity. Because this is the heart of greatness. Be focused. Focus on something. And this focus has a lot to do with who you are. It has to be dramatic to make it attractive to you and others, poetic to capture the greatness of little things. In poetic, you capture the greatness of little things. You see the importance of little things, how much they have to do with who you are. Even the way you speak about things show what is the substance of what you have inside. Symbolic to make it universal and unforgettable. Short to focus on that which is important. I'm giving you here certain light to do the job. But the important thing is that you do the job. Just promise me, take a time and begin to write something and come back to it regularly. You'll be very thankful, very, very thankful to me for having begun that project. And I promise you, when you begin, you'll never stop. Your talent, your mission is related to your story and also to your talent. What are the specific things you're good at? Listen to others. What did they say about you? Feedback analysis is the instrument to discover your specific gifts. Feedback analysis. And I speak here to especially young people. You have to do different things because you don't know what you're good at. You have to do different things and you will discover what people say about you, and people will tell you what your real gifts are. Your temperament. Do not forget that your temperament is also a talent. If you're a melancholic, you have a gift to break the status quo and create new ideas. If you're choleric, you have a gift to start a big project on the foundation of these ideas. If you're a sanguine, you have a gift to gather people around that project. If you're a phlegmatic, you have a gift to bring rationality to the endeavor, which means long-term success. So you see, each one of us, tomorrow we'll speak a lot about the temperaments, but each one of us, according to his temperament, has to understand my temperament is a gift. It's a gift. You know, a melancholic, he has a gift that is very different to the gift of a phlegmatic. It's not the same kind of gift. So this knowledge of your own temperament is very important also to understand what could be my specific gifts, or at least one of those gifts that I have to use in order to achieve my mission on earth. People forget very often about the gift of temperament. They think my gifts are artistic gifts or oratory gifts or whatever it is, but temperament is the first fundamental gift that people have received, because each temperament has a lot of strength, also weaknesses, but a lot of strength, and those strengths are gifts. Broad and narrow. Your mission statement must be broad enough that you could accomplish it in many different ways, but narrow enough that it speaks to you personally every single day. So after, when you come to your mission in life, you have to think about how do I formulate it? How do I formulate my mission? And this formulation is important because it's a way for you to remember easily what thing you have to do on earth, and are you doing it? And your mission is very much about, it's your decision-making criteria forever. Anytime you have to make a decision, unconsciously you remember, my mission is about this, so this is what this decision has to be about. This decision cannot go against this mission. So we said that a mission is the basic decision-making criteria for a life. So your mission statement must be broad enough, yeah, so that you could accomplish it in many different ways. But it has to be precise enough, narrow enough, that it speaks to you personally every single day. You see, there must be those two things, large and narrow. Large, so that you can do it in very different ways. So which means that any moment of your life you can do it. But narrow enough so that it still appeals to your heart. All the time you remember, I am now accomplishing my mission. If not, you will swim in your mission, and you will forget what your mission is about. And you will collapse in terms of mission. So remember one thing, the mission is a very important thing. It takes time to discover it, but it is so important that you begin to make the work now by writing this spiritual autobiography that you need not show other people, but you need every year, during a retreat or whatever it is, you need to think, I take it, and I come back to those things, and I write down, I write more. And you will see after a few years, maybe after a few years, even less than a few years, you will make very interesting discoveries, very interesting about yourself and also about the others. And your life can take another dimension. And this is a very, very important aspect of the virtue of magnanimity. Because magnanimity, and I finish here, it's an answer. It's an answer to something that you have received. Magnanimous people are magnanimous because they see all the great things that they have received. So they have a vision of greatness. And then it seems to them natural to answer all those gifts in an absolute way. When people don't understand and don't see what they have received, well, they have a natural tendency towards pusillanimity, which means small-mindedness, small-heartedness, because they don't feel that they have received so much. So why do I give? Why should I give myself if people didn't give themselves to me? So when you do this work, you discover that in the end of the day, many people have given to you much more than you think. Much more than you think. And then this natural desire for responsiveness becomes very clear, very clear. But you have to do the work. You have to make what we call the investigation. And this is one of the most important aspects of developing the virtue of magnanimity. It is this self-awareness.